Choo choo! The Bitcoin train is about to leave the station. And if you are not on board this train, I don't know what you are going to do with yourself, but you will be left behind from some of the craziest, most insane financial rewards and gains you have ever seen in your entire existence. And this is just the start of the journey. So make sure to stay tuned right to the very end of the live session. Welcome back today to the Crypto Bliss channel. Thank you for being here with me on the Monday night Crypto Bliss Spotlight session. We are going to be tackling some crazy, awesome stuff for you. So for now, make sure you have seen this dollar collapse video because that really has a lot to do with this live session too. Now, AVAX, XRP, Cardano, some of the top coins out there are definitely and undoubtedly going to be pumping like crazy stuff right here, right now, with the crypto market cap seeing some of its most ridiculously, insanely beautiful timing right now. Making money all over, everywhere, all the time. Thanks very much to crypto. Its passive sources of income, the way that it generates liquidity in this space, and of course, the giant market cap that we see right now, which is actually just a micro cap in comparison to what tsunami of liquidity we are about to see coming into the space. 5 to 10x this right here, right now. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you what it is that you believe we should be seeing in crypto this cycle. Now, bearing in mind that Bitcoin is the king of all these assets, and it will bring in the most amount of liquidity in this cycle. So if we potentially see Bitcoin top out at like $6 to $8 trillion, that's a 5 to 8x on Bitcoin from where it is right now, taking us to like a 300 to 400, 500K Bitcoin. I don't know. What do you think about that down below? But for me, Ethereum is also going to see a massive, massive market cap, possibly a 10 to 15K, 12.5 to 15K, more or less. The cycle, I don't know. I can't say. But what I do say is that history is currently repeating itself, and the same thing is happening over and over and over. The Federal Reserve made a decision last week to increase its interest rate decision. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, let's go and summate this entire meeting. Summary of Fed Chair Powell's remarks, which was on the 23rd, of August, which was 3 days ago, Friday. The time has come for Fed policy to adjust. Well, that means that on the next interest rate hike date in September coming up, we're like 4 days away from September, but it's sometime mid-September. Plus, we could have it any time sooner if something goes boom or bust in any of the markets. Because if it did, the Fed would have to respond and react immediately, and therefore turn on those damn money printers once again. Okay, it's not as simple as that, but if you watched this video right here, you might find that it could actually be just as simple as that. But the Fed will literally do everything to support a strong labor market. In other words, they will print money, they will create fake jobs into the market, and that means that they will do whatever, and that means everything, to support that strong labor market, even if it means fake numbers. So who knows what will happen and unfold. But the Fed does not welcome further weakening of the labor market, hence why they will do everything in their power to pull that forward. Because if they did allow for the labor market to continue further, then there shall be a recession. Shall we see them coming into a recession? I don't believe so. Confidence has grown that inflation is heading towards 2%. And actually, the Fed has finally done what it has committed to do all along, having a target of a 2% inflation rate. Now, the balance of risks to Fed mandates has changed. In other words, more of the Federal Reserve members have now gone and said they are in favor of lowering the rates, which means that the Fed is now becoming dovish. And dovish means dovish on the ground, flying up into the sky, fly up. Whereas hawkish, a hawk comes down and catches its prey. A hawk is on the top, comes down to catch its prey. So they are very much dovish right now, as you can see from all of these statements. Inflation has declined significantly toward the goal. The Fed pivot is officially here. Shout out to the Kabisi letter for putting together the points and the most important highlights of that meeting. Now, how does that implicate a very strong bull market? Okay, because the Fed pivot is here. Once the Fed pivots, yes, even if there was a recession to unfold, okay, we would see some of the most insane money printing, buying of some of the world's greatest stocks and assets and funds and housing and property, because right now it's at its all-time lows in terms of, not all-time lows, it's at its strengthening. So the Fed decision is on the 18th of September, okay? And there is now a 78% chance of a 25 rate cut. There's a 23% chance of a rate cut and a hike at 5%, so none. Breaking odds of a 50 basis point interest rate cut at September Fed meeting to rise to 23%. This is meant to be 50 basis points, okay? Now, all I want to say is that it could be starting to rise, but do I think we're going to have a 50 rate cut? Unlikely at this point. There's now a 95% chance that the interest rate cuts in September with a 78% chance of 25 basis points cut, which means that that is right on point. Okay, that is absolutely right on point for what it is that we are going to be talking about in this video. That is all absolutely bullish, ridiculously bullish momentum. And that is what we require to have this absolutely beautiful catapult. And somehow it just seems to be so divinely timed. And I'm going to just have a little bit of talk about free speech in a moment, but seems so divinely timed that Bitcoin was set out at the 4-year, has a 4-year cycle, and every 4 years odd, we have a Bitcoin halving. And we go, the Bitcoin halving is almost timed so timelessly that it is there to counteract exactly what the Fed is about to do. They're about to print more of them friggin' dollars, okay? And we're about to see the M2, the money supply, continue to fly up even further. Now, there's something so ridiculous that I have to show you. If you are a trader and you know exactly what your estimated moving averages are, in this instance, we have 20, which is the red, the 50 is the orange, the 100 is the turquoise, and the 200 happens to be the blue. Now, isn't it so interestingly so that generally with over time, and this is the monthly chart, we generally should have pullbacks right down to the 200, which in this instance, might I say, this freaking money to supply, we have not even ever seen the 50 moving average be tapped. As you can see here, it has remained constantly above the 20 moving average. For the first time in its history, it broke down, and no wonder there was so much pressure of a massive, ridiculous recession. Look at how aggressive this pulled back under this 20 moving average. But guess what? We're right back above that 20 moving average already. And since we broke through it sometime down here, 1st of February 2023, 1st of March 2023, and we exited it at 1st of March 24. So we were literally under it for one entire whole year out of the entire existence from between 1959 and 2004. You hear what it is that I'm saying? We are coming to some of the most insane money printing possibilities that have ever been seen in the entire history. Look at what happened upon this pull up. We literally remained on the top for April 2011 all the way up to April 2022. That is completely 11 years of money printing, non-stop creation of money. Yes, with a small pullback here and there, right? But essentially what it is that I'm saying is that this cannot be stopped, even more than Bitcoin. And actually, the reason for Bitcoin is because of this chart. So this chart shows us that money will be continued to printed out of existence, out of thin air, and therefore Bitcoin will counteract this response of your erosion of your currency and actually reserving and protecting the value that you hold and maintain as an individual, and therefore equaling freedom. So let's move on to some of the rubbish news that we have seen today, because Rumble boss has departed from Europe after Telegram CEO arrest. So Telegram founder Pavel Durov has been arrested. And so far, we're going to dive into what we know. And it's all got to do with freedom of speech. Why would Rumble and Telegram, which are two platforms that are freedom of speech platforms, so Rumble is the complete opposite of YouTube right now, which it is that I am actually doing this live session on. So I can say what it is that I want to say here on YouTube, but if the YouTube algorithm and I start to get millions of followers and I start to make an impact, that means YouTube will witness that and they will come after me, just as though they have gone after Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate recently arrested as well. I wonder why. Because there is so much freedom of speech busy happening across these platforms. Not only Rumble, not only Telegram, but Twitter. What, are they going to go and arrest Elon Musk now? Are they going to go and arrest Elon Musk? I'd like to ask that, actually, because Elon Musk's platform is freedom of speech. And this is from a few days ago, but the Romanian court places Andrew Tate under house arrest for 30 days with a bunch of bullshit saying that he was trafficking children and using him as sexual traffic. I mean, come on. Like, this is all just noise. Like, we already know this. And like, these institutions, these media companies, they're all owned by these large people that can manipulate the news as to however they want to do that. So Rumble, and here he says it himself, Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovski, I'm a little late to this, but for good reason. I've just safely departed from Europe. France has threatened Rumble, and now they have crossed a red line by arresting Telegram CEO Pavel Durov, reportedly for not censoring speech. Rumble will not stand for this behavior and will use every legal means available to fight for freedom of expression, a universal human right. We are currently fighting in the courts of France, and we hope for Pavel Durov's immediate release. So he has departed. Okay, he knew it. He could see it. It's happening. Are they going to go after Elon Musk? Because Twitter is part of that, and there are so many more platforms that are really opening up. You know, there is DeFi Social. In fact, that platform in crypto is DeFi, decentralized social media. DSO, that's it. There you go. Check it. It's even listening to me. My AI is even listening to me. You guys witness that for yourself. So this is what I'm saying to you. They are constantly looking at us through our videos, hearing us through our audios. And this is not conspiracy theory any longer. If you believe that is conspiracy theory, then just leave the channel, because you should go and plug back into the matrix. Plug that little thing in the back of your head and go and plug back into the matrix, because it is very obvious what is going on right now. But things like decentralized social media bring together a decentralized mechanism. And imagine if you're buying this coin right down here at its very beautiful lows right now, when actually we could start to see this start to pump up. Of course, these coins are going to be suppressed. Of course, these projects are going to be suppressed because the likes of Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, which are all owned by the same institution anyways, are all heavily invested in their communications networks, and they want to hear everything, see everything, etc. And they don't want to be exposed, excuse me, for the purge, the vomit, the ridiculousness that they actually are. And hence that this is happening. They are fleeing. Of course, they should flee. They should flee because they're going to get locked up. Like Andrew Tate's been locked up, although Andrew Tate is like an OG. You know, he takes it on the chin for the people and he stands true because they got nothing on him. And so should the rest of them. They have nothing on them. And this is why we need to stand together and unite as the cryptopians of this world, because cryptocurrency is that freedom that you have asked for, that I have asked for, that is being given to us on a silver platter through absolute powerful cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is a decentralized, incredibly powerful energy and store of value. Okay, I don't know about you, but I've got me a good bag of Bitcoin. That is my largest chunk of my largest chunk in my entire portfolio. Ethereum, I got a decent bag of it, but not a giant bag. I've got more Solana, I've got more Avalanche, I've got more Toncoin, Cardano. Unfortunately, I don't have much TRX, and TRX, I think TRX has got a 10x on it, without a doubt. $2 possibly on this coin, 10, 15x on that coin, no doubt. This market cap, okay, these market caps are about to increase exponentially because of all of the insanity of liquidity that we're about to see. So you can see here that Hong Kong's Bitcoin ETFs have surpassed 2 billion in assets under management. China is getting prepared. And the Fed is printing ridiculous amounts of money. We can see that. It's very obvious. The charts don't lie. They can be manipulated, but they don't lie. Okay, so at the end of this all, I'm going to show you my trades right towards the end. So I would like to know what trades you would like to see on the channel. I have quite a few trades open actually in comparison to last week, and I'm really hoping that we can really get a good glimpse of our trading session today, but we'll come back and have a look at that in a moment. So as we've seen here, the Fed is ready to pivot. The decision is coming on the 18th, which is now officially 22 days away. Less than 1 month away, we could see interest rate cuts, boom. Money printing turned on, boom. And liquidity and M2 supply start to flood the market once again. If you're not ready, even though we could pull back to 62K, and I'm going to show you my charts why. Some traders are predicting a little bit of a Bart Simpson. I don't think so. I think we're just creating higher lows at the moment, and we're still capitulating in an extraordinarily tight range right now, and that's just normal for where we are because there is a squeeze about to happen. It just all depends. Is the squeeze going to go down or is it going to go up? I'd like to know from you in my community, my special Cryptopian. So after all the arrests on free speech, okay, we know that even though Ton CEO has been arrested, Ton and Telegram still continue. I'm still using Telegram. I still use Telegram. It's carrying on. To those who are not yet in my Telegram community, go and check my community down below. I'm getting back into it, and I've got a marketing agency that I have brought on board that will be starting with me in the next couple weeks, and we will have a lot more posts happening on the very, 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 very beautiful social platforms, decentralized social platforms especially. So with all that we are seeing, Anthony Scaramucci says that Bitcoin, not a store of value today, sees Wall Street selling machine amping up for BTC. I don't see Bitcoin as a store of value today. I still see it as an early adopting technology. Could it be a store of value if there are over 1 billion wallets? Sure, we can look at it that way. Is it a future store of value? Yes, but I just think you've had a lot of things going on with Bitcoin as it relates to if it's regulatory headwinds. Now, this is something very important to talk about because the whole purpose of Bitcoin was to get a currency and the ability to store value against everything else outside of the very interesting network of decentralization. And the very epitome of companies like BlackRock, like all of these other institutions, Fidelity, whoever else, okay, doesn't that go against the very moral? Well, in one way it does, but on the other hand, how does Bitcoin get to become this world currency global asset if everybody, including those people, are not using it and holding it and storing it of value, trading it, doing what they need to with it as Bitcoin was intended by Satoshi? Okay, so I think I've just kind of expressed to you that even though it isn't where it is right now, we all, Scaramucci, myself, Altcoin Daily, we all have different perspectives of the market and the people in the market and the space. But at the end of it all, where there really is like very slim lines and focal points in the entire space that all align to pretty much the same thing. And that is Bitcoin going up, okay, forever and ever and ever and ever more. And the same thing right now. You see here, Bitcoin going up forevermore, and the same thing busy happening and unfolding in the rest of crypto. So let's move on now. Scaramucci, love the man. I think he's brilliant. I think what he brings to the crypto space is undeniably incredible for the crypto space and the way that he's constantly speaking about the crypto space. So pro-Bitcoin candidates John joined forces as Robert RFK Jr. endorses Donald Trump to save our country. So in other words, RFK Jr. has pulled out of the race and has taken sides and supporting Donald Trump in his campaign. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. US banks are not only paying $470 million to regulators over widespread record-keeping failures and off-channel communication methods. In other words, fraud. Okay. So I can't see why we would not see the craziest bull rally starting in this cycle. And I'm going to show you a few charts that might tickle your fancy. All right. Because if we look at this chart here from CryptoCon, soon he believes, and so do I, as I've said to you, 300K is my target. I believe that Bitcoin cycle top callers will be left in the dust as business carries out as normal. This is the third and final low volatility phase that comes mid-cycle, every cycle on weekly Bollinger Band width. 5 months of sideways price action is not new. Missing out on 2025 is missing out on 2021, 2017, and 2013. In other words, the craziest components of the bull cycle, as you can see here. There was a sideways move for 5 months, sideways move for 5 months. Then we had this ridiculous bull run, which was throughout 2023. It was 1 year. That's how long the bull cycles are. The end of the bull cycle, okay? The bull cycle actually starts at the bottom here, but that's just really, it's like coming up into the actual bull market expansion, okay? So, well, that's actually the bear market bottom, excuse me, okay? But it's a bull market heading up. So, because at the end of it, as you can see here, excuse me, it's a continuous bull market. It has ever only gone up, with the exception of pullbacks, which are very necessary. And sometimes these pullbacks can be up to a year, even longer than a year. So now you can see here, 4 months, 5 months, bull market. 2 months, 5 months, 6 months. We're already 6 months into this one. That's the longest we have ever seen, actually. we are getting ready to explode sometime very soon. Okay. Some people call September Redtember. Who knows? But at the end of it, Bitcoin, when will it top out? Who the freaking heck knows? But in my personal view, 2026, end of October 2025. So in about a year, like 13 months time is my personal view. And so here, Mags believes that, okay, according to some of the math here, and you can see here, that in 2013, Bitcoin pumped over 9,500%, boom, okay, and peaked 406 days after the halving. In 2017, it climbed by 4,100%, boom, and peaked about 511 days after the halving. In 2021, it gained 636% and topped out at about 546 days after the halving, boom, boom, which was actually there. In this current bull cycle, if the cycle follows a similar pattern, we could expect Bitcoin to top out between June and October 2025. We're literally like a year, maybe just over a year, maybe just under a year left in this, okay? Actually, it's just a bit over a year, okay? Even if we just see half of that growth, the previous cycle, a 300% increase from Bitcoin current levels could push Bitcoin's price to around $200,000. I'll give that a like to my friend Scalping Pro. I don't know about you, but when you can see this sharp, aggressive turn to the downside, every single time there was a sharp, aggressive turn to the downside after a massive kind of pullback on the aggressive money printing, well, then guess what? You actually start to see a massive, massive, massive pump in liquidity. And this was down at about 3.97, and it went all the way up to about $9 trillion worth of printing money. $5 trillion, excuse me. $5 trillion. Are we about to see like $8 to $10 trillion be printed into the market with not much else to invest in this space? Look at this. Gold sitting at a very nice chunky 17 trillion. Apple and Nvidia are competing for that second and third space now. Could Nvidia become the world's largest company? Let me know your thoughts down below. My personal view, I do believe they could. Actually, I think they are $300 billion away from Apple. And really, that's pretty decent. They're now surpassed Microsoft. They've now surpassed Alphabet, Amazon, Silver, Meta. Right now, Bitcoin is going to be heading up in that direction. And imagine when Bitcoin heads to that $6 to $8 trillion market cap. I'm not saying all of it will come into Bitcoin. I think at least 3 trillion, 4 trillion into Bitcoin at the very, very least. At the very, very least is what I'm saying. And so do you see that same thing happening here? That would mean that, but in order for Bitcoin to get here, it would have to double market cap. We'd have to see Bitcoin at like a $4 to $5 trillion market cap. $4 to $5 trillion market cap, if all things remain equal, would put us in second position with Bitcoin. However, that's probably unlikely what's going to happen. And if they do print something like $8-10 trillion, who knows, maybe even more, then that could come into a lot of these high market cap businesses across the world. I don't know about your thoughts, but hey, man, silver's going to work its way up to a $50 level, undoubtedly so, very soon, and probably triple digits too. So we're on the verge of ridiculous money printing happening. And if you are not on this beautiful, beautiful Bitcoin train and crypto train, can't help you, my friend. Just can't help you. So let's move on from right now, because even though we are seeing this incredible bull market expansion, we're seeing the crypto market cap. Some days there's coins bleeding. Some days there's not. It just is what it is. So if we have a look at when the next crypto bull rally could essentially come in, you could see here real pump and a real breakout. Essentially, this is what is busy going on. So right now, we could see, boom, a move up. Real altcoin season could be coming very soon, okay, is according to the others D. Okay, currently valued at about 213 billion. Wow. Okay, late December 2020, altcoin season. That was altcoin season in 2017. Could we see some massive volatility spiking up here? I'd love to go and look at that chart. Actually, let's go and have a little look at that trading view chart. Okay, we'll have a look at others D in a little moment. But for now, make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribed to my Twitter page. And I hope you are having the best and beautiful fun being here with me on the live session together. And of course, YouTube is a good place to be for most of us. But that does not mean anything for us. So, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. Okay. Alrighty. So essentially what we want to go and see is the others D. Sorry guys, sometimes I have to just close some of them because you can see I've got a billion tabs open. Others.d. Alrighty. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? In the meantime, you can hit my Bybit link down below, get into some trades, and yeah, I mean, so here's where the Bart Simpson plump plump could possibly be happening, which means we could have a little bit of a fall, possibly down to this 61, 62K level. If it does do that, fuck, just buy some more. It's like $1,500 away, guys. That's like 1% down. Don't be ridiculous now, man. Come now. Okay, if you've been entering into the trades down here, continue to add. If it pulls down here, I'll add some more. I'll freaking add some more. Because right now, you can see that we're building up the momentum on this trend line. Let it build up its momentum. Take the time to just have a incredible resilience here that we can see that is unfolding in this space. So let us go and pull out. You see there that level that Bitcoin essentially wants to reach up here, which is going to be an estimate of that 72K level. So let's leave Bitcoin's resistance level there right now, because that's going to be Bitcoin's next target. Bitcoin right now, from where it is to there, will give us a 12% move. If we decide to pull back to 61K and we go to the top there, that's a 16% move. Make no mistake that that is going to be the next move. If you just took a trade like that, even, you would do very, very well for yourself. You can see I'm remaining in my trade because I'm going to be now adding to my position in my trade, and I'm going to be going absolutely degen on this because we literally are getting ready to break out here. The money printers are being turned on. It just is what it is. And if we go and look at the others D, okay, we'll actually find that this chart speaks many, many beautiful things as well. But first of all, the dollar, the Dixie, is now currently having on the 4-hourly time frame an expansion of the ribbons. And this is exploding on its downtrend. Doesn't mean it can't pull back up, doesn't mean it won't pull back up. But if I look at it, I can just say to you right now that we would very likely have to pull back up to, yeah, at least this level, because look at where we're at right now. We're at this bottom level. So we're getting ready to actually break our momentum to this downside. And if we do break that momentum, my goodness me, we're going to fall tremendously hard down. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen just yet. You can see here that on the market cap of the USDT dominance, however, on the 4-hourly time frame, has got us now to a very interesting point. We have now seen and confirmed a downward trend here. We got the stochastic RSI oversold. MACD is getting a little bit more momentum. However, we got, if I have to draw this for us, we really have kind of a channel that is building up as almost like a little bear flag, because this is the flag. This is the flagpole. Okay, that's the flagpole. So if we have to take that and we have to pull that flagpole down from breaking out there, isn't that very interesting that it pulls us kind of to this line here? Okay, let's get it a little bit more accurate, because it does pull us right to that line pretty much. Okay, isn't that interesting that the target has to then end up coming down to this level here, which is a much longer term support, which has been a much longer term support since down here. All right, that's on the dominance, and we're now crossing over. Look what happened once we crossed over. It really did fall into the deep end here, and even though we had the MACD push us ridiculously up like that, I think that's going to be the money printing, and that's where we're going to see all crypto, even the stable coins, market cap increase in their values, and that's going to increase the total crypto market cap, and that's going to push all crypto assets up. Not just the stable coins, not the shit coins, but everything. Wherever liquidity and money wants to find itself in the crypto space, my goodness me, we will do that. But what I do want to state is that we're actually in a much larger bear flag pattern. So once we do break this level here, that will be the last point of testing there. But you can see how much of a bear pole flag that we actually have going on here. It's massive. Look at this very bearish flag here. It is just what it is, and I can't help but share with you that really we are on another trajectory. So let's get some candles out here, because that would be the most important. All right, so let's see here. You can see here now where we're finding support on this. Look at that. Isn't it so interesting, right? With the MACD, the RSI getting ready to reset, the MACD starting to pull in. Wow. My word. And what will the next target of this be? Might I just add, my fellow cryptopians? That, okay, you saw in the other chart, somebody said 21%. I think that's a very accurate target, because if we look at 21%, that 21% actually ends up being, boom, right there. And I might say to you that from here, we would essentially try and break through this very strong resistance level of a box here, okay, because now we've reached a difference over here. We are way above that support zone, so that speaks to us. But essentially, we should now start to kind of pump here, maybe hit a bit of resistance, break out, hit that, and then start to kind of pump and then push our way. So we could actually even go higher than 21%. Okay, we could hit like 27 to 29%. All right. I don't know about you, but I'm going to leave that there for now. Okay, and I'd like to come back to that a little bit later on with you, because really higher lows and higher highs, that is very bullish on others, and that's all the others. Right now is a fucking phenomenal time to invest, because last time we were down on this trend line, we actually made a crazy pump of how much? 318% on the others. Okay, there was the last bottom down there. There was the last bottom down there. Boom. What did we do there? 1,000, 2,000%. What could we do now? Could we do a 200% at the very least? Holy schmack. 200%. In other words, yeah, we would see at least $2 trillion possibly flow into this crypto other space for now. Make sure to use my links to get into some trades, guys. I'm going to show you my trades in a little moment, so make sure to stay tuned. But for now, you can see here that the total 3 market cap is really at a very beautiful and pivotal point. Currently, we are having a little bit of a pullback. We've had some sort of, let's go and see, on a much closer level. In fact, you know what? I actually want to make this white for us. Okay, let's go make this white for us. Okay, plots. Let's go make it, yeah, even if we do it a little bit dull gray. Okay, dull gray is good. Okay. No, we need white. Sorry about that. Not going to mess you guys around. Let's make it white. In fact, let's make it that peachy color so we can see clearly now. The rain is, oh, it's not bright enough. Boom, we need that right up. There you go. Now we can see that bad boy. Isn't this interesting? We broke through the 200. We tested this insane resistance level that we've had for some time now. We've got a very strong stochastic RSI crossed over, pulling down now. Okay, we could come back and test this bottom area here. Okay, that would be my absolute low on this. Okay, which would be the 20, and then we would wait for that 20 to start crossing back over the 200, really giving us the momentum to have this massive flood on the MACD. Because if you really zoom out on the real big picture, you can see that the MACD ain't even had nothing happen to it yet. Okay. Do you want to see what a bull cycle looks like? Look at this bull cycle. This wasn't even a lot. Look at that bull cycle. Wasn't even a lot. Look at this. This was massive, but not even a lot. Wait till you see what we're about to see in this market. Okay. Really? And then here is the total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin. And this particular chart actually tells us the real blood of the altcoins. And as you can see, we've been rejected, okay, from the 100 moving average, and we are somewhat starting to make our way down a little bit. Do we need to retest this zone down here that we currently at? Very high possibility before we start to gain our momentum. But you can see here that I can see that this is a double bottom. So one bottom, two bottom, and we probably will make all of these now higher lows and start to get our higher highs in formation here. This is just very obvious stuff that you can see in the crypto space. And in order for us to get back up to really this very juicy, delicious level, that's another 90% up. Okay, so now I think you can see that with the M2 money supply, the US dollar falling and USDT falling, okay, I did say to you that we could, even on the extreme side, really fall as hard as this. I drew this line for you so long ago. I don't know if it's going to plan out like this, but I think it could, actually. Seeing what we are seeing and knowing what we are knowing. So let us go on to our bull flag on Bitcoin. So where could Bitcoin come to? So there is the same. 59,000 is the 200 moving average. We busted below the 200 moving average here. We look here. We busted below, we pull back up. We busted below, we pull right back up and right back up above the 20 even. Okay, now all of these moving averages are starting to turn back up and they are bouncing off of the 200, which is very, very bullish and very, very healthy. I would expect nothing less than a potential pullback to the very least at the 61K level, between 61 and 59K level. I would expect nothing less. So if we do get that somewhat little topping area, as we can see here, right now I would say that that would slowly bleed this RSI back down, but give us the energy and the momentum that we're going to need to get right back up here to the 69 to 70K level, getting ready to break us out of this very gigantic bull flag pattern. Things are looking amazing for Bitcoin. All right, it's very easy, very simple. On the 4 hour, you look at the 4 hour, we're actually at the bottom. We're getting ready to just make a move up. We're bouncing off of the 20. This is what happened. We crossed over, back over the 200 right here, okay? This is now getting ready to retest that very equivalent level of $61,386. I wouldn't be surprised, but the RSI is already overboard. So we're finding that balance and support on the 20 moving average. Now, hope you've enjoyed every single last moment of this, and I hope you are subscribed to the Crypto Bliss channel if you have not yet subscribed. I know that a ridiculous 79% of my viewers watching this channel, the viewers watching this channel, are not subscribed. So if that is equal, that would give me like 10, 20,000 subscribers. And the more you guys do that for me, the more videos and the more content I'm going to be excited to do for you as well. It's a give and take situation out there in this wonderful world. And I don't give you anything but absolute alpha. And I don't take anything from you either. And I would never ask for anything from you either. So if you ever see anything that isn't part of me and my channels, let me know. Let me know in my Telegram group down below. I will make sure that you are on the right track for blessing this community. So thank you for being here. I will go and share with you now my trades. Some of them are down a little bit, okay? Some of them are up. My Bitcoin trade is 80% up. My Dodge trade is officially 10% down. My Engine trade is up 94%. My Ethereum trade is up 58%. Ouch, my near trade is absolutely bleeding. So we'll go and have a look at that and see what we need to do there in a moment. Let's just get the chart out for us so that we can go and see where we need to go and add more to the position. Or if we just cut our losses and walk away, we'll have a look at that in a short moment, because obviously that's going to affect us. And you need to learn where to cut your losses rather than bleed to death. Rune, 75% up. Sand, 12% up. Solana, 182% up. My Tensor, I got into a BitTensor trade later this afternoon, and it's now down 13%. My Ton, we know why, is down a little bit, but it was a good place to buy. And unfortunately, my XRP is bleeding quite a little bit here, and I'm not sure if I should be cutting my losses on this, because XRP, oh, you see near here, yeah, you see now, I would say this is a good time to potentially cut losses, because it broke to the downside. So I bought here on this candle, basically, okay? There was no breakout, and this teaches you a very good lesson. Wait for the breakout. But are we going to get a fake out and turn back up? I don't know. But if we are going to fall, my goodness me, we're going to fall all the way down to here, $4.42. Now, my stop loss is actually pretty much down under this level here, which I don't want to sit in like a 99% drawdown. So obviously I would cut my losses wherever I needed to do so. So that's near. And then my other one was XRP, right? So let's go and have a look at XRP. XRP, I'm not entirely sure why XRP is actually bleeding today, but sometimes these coins do bleed nicely, and I guess it just is what it is, eh? That's your buying opportunity, especially buy on spot. So you see now, there is a concern for me, because we have reached a potential bottom area, and my stop loss is now possibly going to be affected. Okay, I'm almost at my stop loss, hence why I wouldn't want to carry on adding into this position. So I bought in there hoping that I would go up, and I was up nicely, but then we had this massive rejection from this area pushing us right down here because of the Bitcoin drop. So it's quite an interesting trade. Do I get out of it, or do I just let it hit the stop loss? That's a question that I'll just have to leave for a moment. I don't want to say anything to you, because you actually yourself, you need to realize when to cut your losses or when to add more to the position, because it might just be in a little bit of a fake out and a turnaround. So there are different things. So obviously with being 20x in this trade, I'm down 60% on my trade. So it's not even down a lot, but I'm down 60% on my trade. If I had to lower this and go in like 5x, I'd be able to put my stop loss all the way down here and be way safe in this trade, but my entry would suck ass because it's all the way up at the top here, right? So it's a bit of a catch-22, and you've got to know quite nicely how to just add small chunks to your trade as you go along. And this is the benefit of learning how to trade nicely. It's like spot trading, but with just more margin and tighter stop losses. So most of my trades are in profit, as you can see here. Some are in the negative, and I show you. I am transparent with you. If I'm bleeding, I'm going to show you the ones that I'm losing out on. It is okay. I will have a look at them, and I'll go ahead and manage them. But if Bitcoin continues to potentially drop, that would essentially make all of those trades potentially drop. Therefore, I should be taking profits on those. So I constantly realize and look to analyze Bitcoin and see where Bitcoin is. But I don't see Bitcoin going any further than down than the 61.5K level. Really, I don't. So it's my personal view. I'd love to know what you think down in the comments below. Truly appreciate you being here with me on the channel. Thanks for showing some love, subscribing to the channel, and I guess we'll see you on the next one. You blessed, beautiful souls. Take care and have a wonderful, lovely, and happy Monday Moon Day. And of course, I'll be doing some cool videos for you over the course of the strong end. Let's get this channel to 2K subscribers now. Thank you to all of you. Much love, much appreciation. See you soon.